Thank you, everyone. Salam, everyone, as well. I actually have not spoken to you today, so sincere thank you to all of our speakers and everyone that's come out. I will keep this very short, but I do want to share a brief story because there's a very special guest, personal, one of my favorite teachers in the house. So in honor of him being with us, I would like to share a brief story. I think we've been talking about empowerment a lot today and what that means to us, whether that's at different stages or of our lives, different ages of our lives. And I want to share a brief story. So I moved, actually, I'll try to keep it brief. Eldest of five kids. And my entire life, I think my goal was very clear. It was to be a very, very, very strong role model to my younger siblings and be the best daughter, best niece, and I think that was about it. At some point, got older and added best friend to that mix. So it was to be like, how do I now navigate being a good daughter, good sister, also friend? And then along with, wanting to be a good daughter, something that came was, okay, my parents want me to succeed, so I have to kill it in my career. Had that goal, got my engineering degree, started working at Microsoft, and that was sort of, I'm in big tech now, what do I do? And I think there was this internal piece of me where I was like, okay, I feel like I'm fulfilling all of these different sort of goals that I had set out and these different identities that I wanted to not just create, but I guess establish for myself. And something felt like it was still missing. And I remember picking up the phone, calling my friends, and me I think I'm gonna go do my MBA, and they were like, why? And I was like, I think I'm a product manager in AI. I'm doing this, but I'm not satisfied. And they're like, are you bored? Is that why you want to do this? I don't know if this is it. Think about it more. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll think about it. And then I won't share too much, but had a few personal experiences that I think really made me just connect with my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at that point, I was like, okay, so I think this is something that's filling that, deep desire I have to feel a little bit more fulfilled. Fast forward, had that feeling, kept doing things about it here and there, but nothing was really you say hitting home and oh, I'm doing this. And then I stumbled upon classes with Sheikh Alauddin al-Bakri at MCA. I'd moved to California, moved actually not too far from here. So I'd go to these tajweed classes, tafsir classes, and he did the whole 4 or 5 month long thing. And at the end of it, Sheikh was standing, and I was like, okay, I should go thank him. And I remember while walking to him being like, okay, I should go and talk to him and ask him a question. And I went up to him, and the question that came out of my mouth was, Sheikh, I feel like I need to drop my career and chase this feeling of I want to be fulfilled. And I think the only way for me to do this is by pursuing Islamic studies. And Sheikh was like, whoa, hold on, sit down. Can you pull a chair, sit right there. And if any of you in this room have had a conversation with Sheikh Ala, it's never short. He went, said salams to a few people, sat me down for 45 minutes. And he asked me a very simple question that I'd encourage every single one of you to think about, which is, what is your intention behind what you want to pursue? And is this really, the path that you're trying to craft, is that going to help you get fulfilled through the intention that you're setting? And he made me question intention specifically because, he knew that I was talking about deen. And with anything deen related or, even our worldly affairs, if your intention is not to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there's something off or there's something wrong. And I remember talking to him, and he was essentially you're not allowed to quit. Go back. You have a fairly important role that you're playing at your workplace. Continue doing that. And we're going to find a way for you to feel fulfilled by maybe pursuing Islamic studies part-time. So I have since been, I would say studying. He knows it's very limited amount of studying that happens because he told me to stay and do my job as well. And Nabila is here, and Nabila knows how busy it is and what it takes to be a product manager in generative AI right now. But I think having, we were talking earlier about like having people that both advocate for you and empower you. And again, that's not necessarily, it's not always women. It could be your teacher, it could be your sheikh. But I encourage you all to really take that initial leap of, hey, do I currently wake up every single day and feel fulfilled? That's one thing. Second thing, what legacy are you going to leave behind, right? Like, I think it's very easy to kind of like fall in this like whatever rat race that we're all in and kind of spend the rest of our lives fulfilling or being okay with whatever identities that, or hats, we were using that term earlier, that the world is putting on to us. But it's very important to take a step back and figure out if those are the hats that you want to be wearing, if those are the identities that you want to be crafting or being a part of. So with that, I would love to actually have Sheikh Ala come to the stage and just say a few closing words and maybe even a dua to close us all off. And again, greatly appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you, it means a lot.
Thank you so much. That was unexpected. Thank you very much for inviting me to the stage. I looked at the word ignite, and it kept on just, I kept on feeling that there is a connection somewhere in the spiritual world. And when Moses was coming back with his wife and children from Midian back to Egypt, and he was scared and afraid, he saw a fire, what looked like a fire that was lit at night. And he didn't know, who's on the fire. It could be street robbers. So he told his family, stay here. I'll go and I'll ask for directions, and I will and I will get you some of that fire so that we can do our campfire and sleep here tonight. So he goes there, and lo and behold, God Almighty speaks to him, and he gets directions from the burning bush. He gets not only directions for himself, personal answers, because Moses didn't know why what was happening to him kept on happening to him. Everything was like not normal. Things like, so he didn't have answers. Finally, he get the answers that this was all by design. And now he gets his mission for the rest of his life and his fulfillment and his role that so many years later, the world, when you mention the name of the Pharaoh, everybody crunches. Okay, oppression, aggression, dictatorship, killing children, killing babies. When you mention the name of Moses, even if you're not a believer, right? But if you're a believer, take 2 billion Christians, 2 billion Muslims, and God knows how many Jews, right? Like let's say 50 million, 100 million Jews. Everybody's like, wow, Moses. They relaxes the legacy. And it all started from Ignite. So that's the connection that came to my mind. So I hope that today was a day that you were ignited, that maybe you can, as she said very eloquently, you can find that which fulfills you and that which leaves a legacy behind. It's very interesting that within the teachings of our faith, you ask yourselves, what am I gonna leave behind? So that question prevents you from being selfish. So it's not about, I'm gonna build my career, and once I build it, I'm gonna feel fulfilled, and I'm gonna feel great. May God help the people around you. Because you're so self-centered. So how about what you're gonna do for others? And that is something that I felt that the name was very energizing, and the speeches, I have been here listening to lawyers and doctors and high tech and leaders, and it is so beautiful and so reassuring to see that this is happening within our community. Our narrative as Muslims is the first one that became a Muslim was a woman, Khadija. The first business woman was the first woman, Khadija. And the one that financed the Prophet's mission and told him, don't worry about business, don't worry about working, I will, was a woman, Khadija. The first one that was stabbed to death under torture, and she refused to give up her dignity and to buckle under pressure. She made Abu Jahl so mad that he stabbed her. The first martyr in Islam was a woman. So to bring back that our faith started with a businesswoman, right? And she was the wife of the Prophet, the backbone. And to bring back that to our community and to see the women in our community, it's really, I have 2 daughters, and I pray that my daughters turn around to be like a lot of these ladies on the stage. It's very empowering and energizing, and may God bless you all. I ask God Almighty, Sallallahu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, to bless each and every one of you. I'm very sure each one here and each one who attended has a list of problems that are bugging you down in life, and then you have rest of aspirations that you want to accomplish, but that's what life is. We are here to solve a problem called life, and we solve it by living. We try to leave a good legacy. I hope to see more of this open, and inshallah, Allah bless you all. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Oh Allah, give us the best of this world and the best of the hereafter. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. السلام عليكم. Thank you very much.
It's on now. All right, everyone, let's give another round of applause for Sheikh. There is a deep sense of fulfillment when we are able to understand why we are all here today and to reset our intention and make sure that we are doing something not just for ourselves, but for other people and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So thank you so much for bringing that to a close. I really want to take a second. I know some of the volunteers are no longer here and some of the executive team members are not here yet, but I want to bring all of you to the stage. All of you have worked so incredibly hard over the last 6-7 months to make this conference a success. So please join me on stage. We're going to take a quick picture. I want to thank all of you for attending, and I want to thank you all for being part of this journey. Please remember that today's theme, and this is an intention that we want to set for the rest of our lives, women's empowerment is not just a woman's responsibility. It is all of our responsibility. And there is great power in advocating and supporting our community members. So let's remember that as we continue on with our day and with our lives. And all volunteers and executive team members, please join me on stage.